Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Marielle. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Foreman. You're going to love this one, Foreman. Not this hair, maybe, but. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk. I am home. It feels good to be home. Even when I go to Jersey, which I love more than anything in the world, it always feels so good to come home and see Michael and the kids and the dog. Sleep in my own bed. I sleep so well next to Michael. I swear, it was like I was meant to sleep next to him, which I probably was. I had a wonderful Mother's Day in that, we had a great dinner. Michael cooked for me last night, which was nice. He made vegetarian baked beans and corn on the cob and a big salad and grilled chicken, and we ate with the kids and we talked, and Michael and I have a surprise for the kids next week. We're very excited. So this week is the kids' last full week of school. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, so let me tell you a couple of things. I don't know why my nose is itching so bad. I don't have a booger, I swear. But it feels like there's dog hair in my nose. But my dog doesn't shed, so I don't know what it is. So I hope all of you had a wonderful Mother's Day. Okay, first of all, let me say this. I'm going to try to talk fast because I want to tell you this story. Thank you to everybody who went and saw my movie this weekend. I have something to tell you. Our numbers with Caucasians were up. Now, I'm not going to say we did that, right? I'm not going to take full credit for that because we had a $22 million marketing campaign. Obviously, the marketing helped. But our numbers with Caucasians were up. Like, I don't think you understand how significant that is for my contribution to my producing partner. Will Packer brings the boys to the yard. He brings the African-American audience. They show up for him. But his Caucasian numbers were up. He sent out an email to the whole team, like 66 people, and said, and let's take note of the fact that our Caucasian numbers were up. And that is from a great marketing campaign and all the coffee talking by Jamie. And I swear, like, my eyes filled with tears. And I know that for some of you, it seems silly. For some of you, you're going, what's the big deal if I'm white or I'm black or whatever? But in this industry, it is completely divisive. Black people go see black movies, white people go see white movies. That's how it is. Sure, there's a small crossover, but mostly that's how it is. So the fact that we got Caucasian numbers up on this movie, like, y'all, I cannot thank you. Why is it so important? Because it affects your bottom line. That's why. Because if you can't cross over as an African-American producer, you will always make black movies for black budgets, for a black audience, and there's no crossover. You can never open internationally. Like, I mean, believe me, I could talk to you for hours about that. But that's not what's important. What's important is for me to say thank you. Thank you to every single person who went into their wallet to buy a ticket for this movie, who took time out of their day or night to see this movie, who took time to go on social media and tell other people, or in their real life tell other people to go see this movie. I am so grateful to you. Was it the best movie in the world? No. Is it going to win awards? No. Did it do really, really well opening weekend? Yes. It did. And let me don't get caught up in the race. I was just explaining to you why I personally was so excited. We made, the final numbers haven't come in yet, but opening weekend, it looks like we made 16.5 million. Life of the Party made 18.5 million. Now you're probably thinking, okay, you lost. Well, you came in third. Here's the thing. Life of the Party cost $30 million to make. Breaking In cost $6 million to make. Life of the Party opened on 1,000 more screens in this country than Breaking In did, which means Breaking In had more sold out theaters. We made more money per theater. Listen, I'm not mathy. Okay, so like I'm not going to try to break it down for you. But we almost tripled our budget opening weekend. It is a big deal that my first movie was a $6 million movie. And opening weekend, it almost tripled its budget. I don't want to cry. I don't want to get emotional. I sit in front of you every day. I try not to ask you for things. This I asked you for. You showed up. Even if you didn't love it, you came over here and you told me you loved it. You said, Jamie, we loved it. We told everybody we knew. We went, whatever. I am so grateful for you. Okay? This next week and next weekend are what will put us over the hump. If you are still considering going to see this movie, please go this week or this upcoming weekend. Please. Please go. Continue to do what you're doing. Tell everybody to go. Keep encouraging people. Go see this movie. I am just so grateful. Now, enough of that. Let's go to my story. So yesterday, I go to the nail salon because I broke 2 nails. Look how short this one is. Boo, sad. Michael said, listen, we are going to go to Whole Foods and get stuff to, make dinner. And I said, I'd like to run to the nail salon for an hour. Long story short, I went to the nail salon. While I was there, this little girl sat next to me. And her mom, I assumed, sat on the other side of her. So it was the mom, her, me. And you know me, I'll talk to anybody. So I noticed the little girl paying attention to what they were doing to my nails. And I noticed that she got her toes done in auburn colors. So I said to her, oh, do you like auburn? She said, yes. So we started talking. So I said to the mom, is she your youngest? Because the mom looked older. And she said, she's not actually mine. I'm just taking care of her right now. And I said, oh, that sounds fun. I said, how can I get a gorgeous, the name of the movie is Breaking In. Breaking In is the name of the movie. So I say, that sounds fun. How can I get a gorgeous 9-year-old to come live at my house? Because I immediately realized, obviously, this woman had stepped in for another woman and was taking care of this woman's child. So the little girl giggled. She thought that was funny. So as the conversation progressed, the mom and I, or the whatever you want to call her, mom for now, we're having eye conversation in front of the child. Now, motherhood is a universal language, right? She's talking to me with her eyes like this. I speak every eye roll, every eye squint, every wink, And I learn from this I conversation that this is a foster child, that she is struggling to sort of figure out. So I am not a foster child, and I never have been, but I have a lot of abandonment issues from my father dying. So I speak that language. So I tell the little girl that I have a movie in the movie theater. And I say to her, do you like thrillers? And she says, I don't think I know what that is. So I say, oh, well, let me tell you. So I say, it's not a horror, it's suspenseful. So it makes you feel like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And she instinctively reaches over to this mother, this woman, and starts rubbing her dress, which is a learned, it's like a subconscious behavior that people with abandonment issues do. When your body starts to produce adrenaline, even in small doses, fight or flight takes over, and you want to touch something that makes you feel safe. So I noticed that she starts rubbing this woman's dress, which means that my conversation with her is like triggering whatever sort of traumatic situation she's dealing with, right? Being taken from her mom, whatever it is, right? So I say to her, but we don't have to talk about that, because the most important thing about movies is popcorn. It doesn't really matter what you see, right? As long as you have popcorn. So I see her let go of the dress, and she turns her body towards me. So now I know she's in the zone. She's like, I love popcorn. Oh, me too. I could eat popcorn for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So she goes back to it. She says, do you get scared at the movie? So I say, well, I don't get scared. I just don't know what's going to happen next. It makes me feel excited. So I said to her, I don't really love fear, but I've learned that I can go see scary movies and they make me more comfortable with fear. But I wasn't always comfortable with fear because my daddy died, and it made me fearful that people would leave me. And I never liked that feeling. And she was like, people have left you. And I swear it was like I wanted to cry, because she in that moment was like, wait a minute, you pretty lady with the long brown hair who I'm enamored with, have you been through something that I've been through? And the woman was like, and I said, yes, people have left me. Sometimes they didn't mean to leave me, but not everybody can help it. Things happen, and my dad didn't want to leave me, but, he did. And I've had other people that I love leave me, and it's made me fearful of people leaving. So what happens is I get angry. I don't deal well with that kind of fear. I get angry, and I say things that are hurtful to people because I want to push them away. I want to push them away so they can't push me away first. Do you understand that? And she nodded her head, and then she reached her hand back over to this woman and started rubbing her dress. Y'all, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die from this girl. And she was so locked into what I was saying that I knew I had to keep the conversation going. I said, but you know what? I wish that I could do it differently, because saying hurtful things to people that we love because we're afraid that they'll leave us damages the relationships we have with people that don't want to leave. And they get confused because we send mixed messages. We tell them we love them, but then we say hurtful things so that we can put this safety net between us and them. And we were talking about it, and I said, do you ever say hurtful things to people that you love? you know, and she said, yes. And she kept looking at the woman, and the woman kept nodding. And I said, I understand. It is scary to feel like people are going to leave you. It is the scariest feeling in the world, to feel like people that you love will leave you. So we had this amazing conversation, and I realized, truthfully, that I was in that seat, in that nail salon, for that exact reason, to have a conversation with this little girl. So she started telling me where she lived and where she went to school. And I said, do you see your mom? Do you see your mom at all? And she said, no. And she said, I'm not allowed to see her. And the mother went, and I said, that's okay. I take breaks from my mom sometimes too. I love her and she loves me, and that never changes. But sometimes we need a break. And she said, yeah, my mom needs a break. I said, I get it. I totally get it. So we started talking about what she might do for the summer. And at the end of the conversation, her mom was done, or her foster mom was finished getting her nails done. And so I said, it was so nice to meet you. Oh, this was my favorite part. So I said, what's your name? All this time we've been friends and you didn't tell me your name. So she told me her name. And I don't want to say it just out of, I don't think it's appropriate. But anyway, I said to her, that is such a beautiful name. I said, do you know what they call those names? And names like yours? And she said, what? And I said, classic names. Classic, meaning they've been around for centuries, and important women have had that name, and queens have had that name, and that name will live forever and ever and ever, and women will continue to name their daughters that name because it is classic. And she said, what's your name? And I said, my name's Jamie. Not classic. Could be a boy's name. So there's that. So they packed up their stuff to pay, and she came back and she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, what did you say my name was? And I said, your name is Classic. It is a classic name. And she said, yeah, I have a classic name. I said, you sure do. That name's going to live forever. And then the foster mom said, she would like to know if you would call her. Would you call her one time? She would like to continue to know you. And I said, I would love to call you. How lucky am I? So she asked her foster mom, what's our phone number? She wrote it down. She wrote her name. She gave me the card. And I said, I am going to call you. I'm going to call you when you least expect it. She's going to get a call from me. And she was like, okay. And they stood at the door while she paid. And I was like this, getting my nails done. And I would turn around and look. And the little girl was staring at me like this. And I would go like this. And I realized that sometimes it just takes us following our intuition about what people next to us or near us need. I didn't have any intention on having that conversation with that little girl. To be honest, I was exhausted. I had flown home from Jersey. I was so tired. And I really just wanted to put my head down and sleep. But I believed that this little girl needed this conversation. And now I have her foster mom's business card and her phone number. And she wants me to call her. And while I certainly don't think it's healthy that I start a relationship with this girl who's already been through enough, I will call and check in on her. I will send a really nice text message with fun emojis telling her how nice it was to meet her and how beautiful her name is, because I want her to know that her presence in my life mattered. She mattered. I saw her. And that's all she wants. She wants to know she's not invisible in this world, because being abandoned or taken from your mom, whatever it was, is excruciating, and it will mess you up. So I share this with you to say that no matter what your intuition says about what conversation somebody needs to have it. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to share your own experiences. Somebody just, Melissa Kim, yes, I took Olivia. She's 10 and a half and she loved it. So anyway, I don't know. I feel like I did good, and I would absolutely adopt. But I think Michael is done. And life with Michael is not about getting everything I want, because Michael in the end will never say no to me. He will eventually cave and say yes, but it isn't because he's happy. It's because he wants me to be happy. And I can't take advantage of him like that. I just can't. He is truly done. He is at his capacity for children. I would adopt 10 kids and become the Duggars. My husband is done. So I will just continue to make an impact on the kids I meet in the world and love them from afar. Thank you so much again for everybody who saw this movie, for everybody who listened to today's Coffee Talk. It was an important one, and it's a reminder that when your intuition says to you, this person needs to talk, don't be afraid to open yourself up and share your life experience with someone. Talk to them, pour into them, let them know that you've been through the same kind of pain, or you've healed from that same kind of pain, or you've been through that experience, or whatever it is, because they may desperately need to hear it, and you may desperately need to have the conversation. The human connection is one of the most important gifts we have to give to somebody else. So don't ever be afraid to give it away. I love you guys so much. There's a share button right there. If you would please share this video. I think somebody probably needs to hear it. I've been forgetting to do, anyway, thank you guys again. I love you so much today. Have a great, great day.